The spring 2023 anime season is here. That means out with the old and in with the new. Our lineup this season is one of the best I've seen in a while. It's actually pretty insane. I might be a little late to the party, but I want to show you guys some anime that might be worth checking out. Before we get into some of the most anticipated anime for this season, I want to talk about an anime that I am personally hyped for, and that is Mashle, Magic and Muscles. Magic dominates this world and dictates society. Our protagonist, Mash, has no magic whatsoever. How does he compensate? Well, he becomes a gym bro. Once the magic police catches wind that such a person with no magic exists, they decide to eliminate him. It turns out that Mash is so swole that he can compete with magic users. He's even able to beat the magic police. To protect himself and his father, Mash enrolls in a very prestigious magic school where he intends to become the best of the best. Mashle is one of those shows that you know is going to be good just from the first episode. I've read a decent bit of the manga and I enjoyed it a ton. It's a fun series that doesn't take itself too seriously, and if it did, it would be a little cringe. Mashle's strong point is definitely its humor. It gives off major One Punch Man and Mob Psycho vibes. If you like those shows even just a little bit, you're going to love Mashle. On the other side of the spectrum from Mashle, we have Hell's Paradise. What can I say about this show that hasn't been said already? This is one of, if not the most hyped show this season. If you somehow haven't heard of this show, here is a quick synopsis. Gabimaru the Hollow. This is a name given to a ninja who is known for being able to kill without showing any emotion. Gabimaru eventually gets tired of the shinobi lifestyle and wants to retire, but that's not an option where he's from. He gets captured and put on death row. The time of his execution comes, but nothing will kill him. Some of the execution styles include being beheaded, boiled alive, and even torn apart, but his ninja training is preventing him from death. Once it's realized that Gabimaru will not be able to die by human hands, he is granted a pardon in exchange for one thing. He has to travel with an Isemon, which is a skilled executioner, and obtain the Elixir of Life. Sounds pretty easy, right? Well, not exactly. The Elixir of Life's location is on a dangerous and mysterious island that literally no one has returned from alive. The team going on this expedition are others like Gabimaru who are also on death row. What mysteries is Gabimaru going to uncover? Hell's Paradise has an amazing premise. There is so much potential to this show. I personally have not consumed the series outside of the first episode, but I have heard from manga readers that there is much to love about this series. I cannot wait to see what the show has to offer. Next up is the infamous Demon Slayer Swordsmith Village arc. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because, it's Demon Slayer. Everyone knows what the show has to offer. This show just seems to keep getting better. Yes, the story is great, but somehow Ufotable has been able to raise the bar once again. What surprised me was how much they added to the upper rank meeting. If you look closely in the manga, you only get like 2 pages worth of visuals showcasing the Infinity Castle. In the anime, it was like 5 minutes. Ufotable didn't have to add anything other than the original source material, but they made something absolutely stunning. If the rest of Demon Slayer follows suit, you know this is going to be the best season. The Swordsmith Village arc has a very similar premise to the last season. Tanjiro is fighting some big bad demons alongside 2 other Hashira. When I was reading this arc in the manga, I found that it was probably one of my favorites. It gives some great insight to the creation and culture of the Nichiren swords, while also setting up more questions that will be answered at a later date. If you've liked Demon Slayer thus far, you are going to love this season. Oshi No Ko is a series that I went into completely blind, which is not something I do often. The series creator is the same as Kaguya-sama, but it is nothing like Love is War. I'm writing this literal seconds after watching the first episode and I'm at a loss for words. I had no clue what to expect for the coming episodes until this first episode was over. I can't even begin to give you a synopsis unless I spoil most of the first episode, so spoilers ahead. Oshi No Ko starts off in a very interesting way. Our main character, Goru, is a doctor who works at a rural hospital in the countryside. He also turns out to be a big fan of an idol named Ai Hoshino. He idolizes Ai because she was one of his past patients' favorite rising stars. Soon after, we learn that Ai is going on hiatus for some unknown reasons. Suddenly, Ai appears at the hospital pregnant with twins. Their father is unknown to everyone except Ai. This will be important later. An idol having children would surely ruin their reputation. Ai intends to secretly raise her children while also remaining an idol, so Goru decides that it's his duty to ensure a safe delivery of Ai's children. Unfortunately, right before Ai goes into labor, Goru is killed by some crazy stalker fan, but that isn't the end of the story for our main character. He was then reincarnated as one of Ai's children named Aqua. At this point in the story, I was beginning to worry that this wasn't for me, but it does get better. Aqua retained all of his memories from his past life. He's basically a genius child. He grows up with his twin sister, who is also a reincarnated fan. They grow up and watch their single mother become a rising star. One day, Ai is brutally murdered by the same fan who murdered Aqua. The fan was upset because Ai was lying to the public by keeping her children a secret. Aqua realizes that the fan must have had an accomplice. He comes to the conclusion that the accomplice must have been his father because no one else would have possibly known about him and his sister. His life purpose is then to find his father and get his revenge. If that sounds like a lot, well, it's because it is. The first episode is over an hour and 30 minutes long. Everything in that episode is just the prologue. I didn't expect to like Oshi No Ko as much as I do. I definitely recommend this if you want something more unique. This is something I've not seen before, so this was incredibly intriguing. The final anime that I'd recommend is Skip to Loafer. This show is for all of you slice of life fans out there. Iwakura Mitsumi is a high school student who recently moved to the big city of Tokyo. She's very driven and focused on her goals in life. Iwakura realizes that life in Tokyo is very different from life in her small town. She then meets her classmate Shima Sosuke, who is the complete opposite of her. Will Shima be able to help Iwakura adjust to this new lifestyle? Who knows? This anime seems so comforting and sweet. The art style is really compelling, and so are the casted characters. This is definitely going to be my comfort show for this season. That's all I have to recommend. I didn't have a lot of time or I would have recommended more for you guys, but I hope I was still able to help in some shape or form. Tell me what shows you guys are watching this season in the comments. Give me some recommendations as well. Thanks for sticking through to the end of the video. Have a good one.